Hello, it's Linda Hayes here coming from Belize, where I've spent almost the last year. My anniversary will be December 27th of 2021, and today is December 6th. So golf cart rental questions come up a lot on Facebook, and in addition to that, COVID testing is coming up repeatedly now that the US has new departure tests that you need before you get back home. So I want to go through some of the things that you need to do if you are traveling. So in Belize, Facebook is the most common way to communicate, and it's also how a lot of the businesses advertise and even how you can book appointments. So make sure that you are utilizing Facebook before your trip, because you can find a lot of answers to your questions. And a lot of my videos come directly from questions that people email me from my videos or that message us through our different Facebook groups here. So I have a previous video that I talked about the COVID testing and what you have to do if you're coming into Belize. Now what I want to talk about in this video is COVID testing on departure. I have a friend that's in town right now from Canada who's leaving on Wednesday. Today's December 6th. And he's going back into Canada, so I'll cover that. But also, of course, the US has some new rules as well, so I'm going to cover both of those things. So if you're going back into the US, you now need to have your test done within the calendar day ahead of your trip. And that can be a rapid test, but if you're going into Canada, you need a PCR test. So in San Pedro, where I'm located, there is a clinic called the Caring Hands Clinic. It's near the Mayan Air Terminal, and they do those tests, both the rapid test that you need for the US or the PCR test you need for Canada. So the rapid test costs $75 US. And you can have a discount if you book with Maya Air when you're booking your airline ticket. I did that when I went back to the US in August this year. And for a PCR test, that costs $200 US. And I had a friend that left a couple of weeks ago that had got this test at Caring Hands Clinic. And they say that you can get your rapid test results within half an hour and 1 hour for PCR. But my friend Patrick that went home to Canada just a little while ago had his results within half an hour. So for PCR testing, that is really great. So I did put the Facebook link here. If you want to book your appointment for your COVID test when you're leaving Belize, that's where you can do it. So first, for golf cart rentals, I want to talk about some of the carts and options you have. So you may want a trunk you can lock. If you're going to do some shopping at different stores in town, obviously you walk into one store, buy some things. It's nice to put a couple bags in the trunk, lock it up before you go into the other store. There's also some carts that have fold down back seats, but it's not all carts. So if you want those options, make sure you ask before you get your rental. So I've used a few different golf cart companies here, so I want to talk about those. Now, there are tons of other ones. I'm not saying they're not good. I'm just going to give my experience with the ones I've used and why I like them and how to contact them. So Rock's Golf Cart Rentals is one that I've used for some of my guests. So it was a referral from one of my friends that's lived here for quite a few years. And when I've had different guests booking my tiny homes, Rock's was really great. They picked people up right from the airport and actually drove them to my property so they knew where they were going. And that was a really good service that was offered. So I put the link there for Rock's in there if you want to use them. Another company I've used myself quite a bit is Carts Belize. And the reason I like them is they have carts that have the shifter for forward and reverse right on the dash instead of under the seat. And because I don't really like driving in the first place, I just found that very convenient. And they have two locations, one right outside Tropic Air, the air terminal that you might fly in through and not too far from Mayan. And then they have another location by Xanadu, which is south on the island, a lot closer to where I live. So I really like Carts Belize for that. And for both of these companies, they're very large. So if you have a problem with your cart, service is really, really critical. So Carts Belize, for example, one time I ran out of gas at right at Secret Beach, which is really far north. And within about half an hour, they came and gave me more gas, which I just went and paid for them in town later on. And whenever there's been a problem with the cart, I get someone there typically within 20 minutes. I have some friends that have rented from more small companies that have one guy. The issue is if your cart's broken down, how quick are you going to get a repair? Things corrode here, rust quite often, lots of problems happen. and obviously you need really good service. So I would definitely recommend whoever you're renting from, just make sure that they have a lot of staff available for problems that you may have with your cart. So I've put the links both to Rocks and to Carts Belize. I have a new golf cart company I'm using right now called F&S Rentals. I didn't put them on the slide because they don't have any carts available for rent right now because they're fully reserved, but there are many different companies you can use that are really good. So during busy season, which is about Thanksgiving up until April, it's good to reserve your rental for your golf cart in advance because companies do sell out. And another good thing to do is set up the pickup with the cart company from the airport or the water taxi, because that just avoids you having to take a taxi to the property and getting your cart rental afterwards. So the last thing I wanted to talk about with golf carts is the pricing. So in the summer and fall this year, you could find a golf cart at about $25 to $30 US because it's COVID and it wasn't busy season, but it's not the case now. Now a lot of them charge about $50 a day plus tax, but you could also find rentals just for an hour or two, plus you can get weekly discounts, monthly discounts, etc. So for a monthly rental right now during busy season, Carts Belize was going to charge me $600 US, and that's actually probably a discount from what's even on their website, but a lot more than what I was paying before. Now, Belize has added a bridge tax onto golf cart companies recently, so that has increased prices that they're charging consumers, and it's because we're getting a new bridge eventually that will go between the north and south of the island. So of course that has to be paid for because taxes here are very low. So of course your golf carts will be a little more expensive than what you saw in the past. Now, I have done a lot of shopping around, which is how I found the different companies, but certainly if you're looking for a golf cart at a certain time frame, definitely reach out to the companies with the links I've provided here, or as I mentioned, you can always go onto Facebook to find other things that people are suggesting. So thanks to everyone who's given me suggestions and comments on my videos. I do have a website where I track all the videos and have lots of resources as well. And please make sure you subscribe as well because I will continue to answer questions. And I really do hope to see a lot of you in Belize. We have a lot of tourism coming back here, lots of people coming in, and it is a great place to be with tons of activities. And definitely I haven't seen any problems with any of the new rules. I have had a lot of visitors coming and going back home without any problems. So hope to meet you when you come and make sure you reach out.